Cloud computing is the next massive thing that's going to hit technology. It's going to change the way most of computing is done worldwide. It's a chance to change the world. Imagine delivering data centers and compute resources through a wire, through the internet, just by plugging into the wall and having a data center at your disposal. It's going to open up the development of new applications. It's going to make IT easier, less expensive. It's going to allow applications to develop and evolve more quickly. It's going to be good all the way around. I think it's probably a $500 billion to $1 trillion a year opportunity from a business standpoint. There's going to be a lot of really big winners, and there's going to be a lot of really big change.
So what in your background kind of alerted you to the possibilities of platform as a service?
Well, what you don't know is I'm old enough to remember the timeshare computing days. We've done this before. It's just that it was really, really expensive. Years and years ago, there were networks and big data centers, and software was delivered as a service, and customers paid as they went. We're just doing it now 30 years later using the internet. We have a worldwide backbone of fiber channel communications. We can transmit data around the world in fractions of a second, and we can take massive data centers and deploy them around the world and serve up that compute technology to small companies, medium-sized companies, and some of the world's largest companies, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. It's going to change the way people compute. You pay as you go, and you pay for what you use. You don't have to build out a whole data center. You don't have to buy and rack and stack servers. It's going to change everything. And so EngineYard is right at the core of this, delivering a platform as a service, and that's why we're so excited. Am I moving around too much?
What about a platform as a service company is exciting to you about the opportunity?
Well, cloud computing is going to change the way people compute, the way compute resources are delivered. 10 years ago, I joined Salesforce as employee number 10, and we built probably the most successful SaaS company to date. But that experience taught me that you needed a lot of underlying infrastructure, you needed a platform as a service to be able to then build the application. And that's what we're delivering here at EngineYard, a platform as a service. Thank you. Is this just recording constantly so I can just start talking if I have a pause first? Ten years ago, I joined Salesforce.com as the number 10 employee, as the chief executive officer, and we built probably the most successful software as a service company that's been built to date. And what I learned there was that you needed a platform as a service to really make the development of the end application easy, fast, and inexpensive. And that's what EngineYard focuses on today, is building an application development platform to build, deploy, and manage applications in the cloud.
So tell me, in the short term, what is your vision for the company? Where is EngineYard going right now?
Well, EngineYard delivers a platform as a service which allows development teams to concentrate on building the application and not worrying about the underlying infrastructure and building and maintaining complex hardware, software ecosystem for building their applications. So we'll continue to build out this platform. Perfect. When development teams build applications, they then need to deploy these applications and deliver them to the user community that they're supposed to serve. And development teams don't want to have to worry about the hardware, the underlying data center, and the operation of the application. They just want to build great software. And that's where EngineYard comes into play. EngineYard delivers a platform as a service, so the development team doesn't have to worry about building and maintaining a complex application infrastructure. That's what we deliver, and it makes development teams more effective. They build better software, and they build it faster, and they delight their end users. And that's really what it's all about.
Let's try to get a definition of what is platform as a service? What is it that you guys are doing?
So at EngineYard, we deliver a platform as a service. And the way to think about it is to think in the big context of cloud computing. And that consists of infrastructure, which is raw hardware delivered as a service. And on top of that is a set of technology, software components that are integrated. It's a platform that allows the development team to build their applications. It's where the database is, it's where the programming language is, it's where all the different pieces are that developers use. It's software. We integrate that and we maintain it, and that's what developers use to build applications. And the applications then sit on top of that, and those are called software as a service.
So, and this is from my background a little bit, but when the company started, why was Ruby Rails and coders?
So when Engine Yard started, the original founders were running a consulting company, building applications. They discovered Ruby on Rails and discovered that it was enormously more productive to build applications in Ruby on Rails. They started building these applications, and then customers said, well, now that you've built it, would you deploy it for us? And then they said, would you manage it for us? And then they said, in fact, would you just run it for us? And that's where the company came from. There was demand for this service that the company ultimately became, and that's why we deliver a platform as a service. That's why Engine Yard got its experience and its background actually serving the needs of real customers with real business problems. I was darting? Okay. I was addressing the group. Okay. All right. Well, quit moving around then. Quit moving around. Okay. It's all right.
All right. So tell me a little bit about kind of what the company was doing when it was founded and how that evolved.
So Engine Yard started because the two founders were running a consulting company. They were building applications for customers. The lead technical engineer in the team discovered Ruby on Rails, discovered it was a much better platform for building applications. It was more productive, you got the application done quicker, and you ended up with a better result. So they moved all their development to Ruby on Rails. When they finished building an application, customers would then say, well, would you deploy it for us? Would you help us run it? Would you manage it? And naturally, being good consultants and entrepreneurs, they started offering those services. And that was the genesis. That's where Engine Yard came from. Today, we deliver a fully integrated platform as a service that provides all the needs of the development team so they don't have to buy and maintain a complex development framework.
Why is it so, and going back to the why is it so hard right now? You know, what really is so complicated about delivering?
So if you're a development team and you start out, your needs are very simple. You don't need too much, just a few pieces of software and you can get your application up and running. But with success, the application grows and the complexity of that application and the other pieces of software that are necessary to keep it running become more complex and more diverse. And that's where the complications begin. These application software stacks, as we call them, are fragile. They need maintenance, they need to be repaired, and they need to be supported. And development teams don't have the time to do that or to do it very well. We deliver that service so we eliminate the fragile nature of these things, we eliminate downtime, and ultimately deliver a better experience to the end users, which is really the whole point of building the application in the first place.
So how would you describe the marketplace that you're operating in? What's the typical customer profile?
Well, honestly, the Engine Yard customers range to a really diverse group. We have very small startup companies, 3 or 4 guys in a garage building the next Salesforce.com, to small operations in large Fortune 500 companies building mission-critical production applications that need to be built quickly and rapidly and economically, and everyone in between. We have customers that are well-established web properties that need production, scalability, and support. We provide for those customers. And we're seeing a growing trend of adoption of cloud computing pretty much from top to bottom, small business to large. So we're very excited by that.